Ooh, nice. I'll get that back there. There we go.
Yeah. What's up, gang?
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, typical live show. Tony was just trying some new tech setup stuff, and it just wasn't working. So we had to like revert back to what we were trying to do. So yeah, we had a couple issues, but we're good now, and we are here. Good morning, everyone. Brightside, how you doing? Brightside with the fake news saying that we weren't going to go live today, and the stream already ended. What's up, LFQ? Back home from the Sweden trip. Omni, how you doing, brother? What's up, Turning Cog? Feel like I just saw you and talked to you like yesterday, like all day. So Brightside, you were talking about eugenics. So I wanted to throw this out there. Ed McMillan is like, he's a really interesting guy. He's like the creative idea guy behind like Team Meat. So he does like game design and, you know, stuff like that. Whereas Tommy, I can't remember what his name is. Tommy something. Tommy was the other guy. They did Super Meat Boy together. What's up, Adder? How you doing, brother? Yeah, they already made Stacks Adder. I think that's the thing. So I was talking about Ed McMillan like specifically. They did a documentary. I think it's not. I always fuck this up because there's like the Phil Fish one that's like, I think that one's Indie Game the Movie about Fez. And then Team Meat did one as well because they were like the first game made with XNA put out on the Xbox 360 Live Arcade, whatever the fuck. They did like a whole run-up thing to that. In that, you saw a bit of tension between Tommy and Ed. They were on like different sides of the country, and they kind of like had clashing views about how to make a game. So I don't remember if they're still affiliated. I'm pretty sure they're not, but I don't think they have like a public statement where they're like, oh, I don't fucking like that guy or anything, you know, in that regard. Ed McMillan, I'm pretty sure became the game dev he is today by posting his early games and shit on like Newgrounds. I'm pretty sure that's where he came from. It was like him and the Behemoth, the guys that made Castle Crashers and Alien Hominid and shit. They started off on like Newgrounds, both of those groups. So these guys have been doing it for a long fucking time. So Ed McMillan's game Eugenics, he was trying to make for 12 years. And it went through a couple rounds of cancellation and funding and like all kinds of other shit like that. And it finally came out. So I think the reason why it did really well isn't because game is really good, but because Ed McMillan has such a huge fucking following. So that's kind of my take on it. I don't know if that's true. I remember looking at early stuff from Eugenics and I was like, this looks fucking weird. I don't know if I want to play this, but who knows? It's commercial success. We'll say that. Wait. LFQ's got fatty stacks. Remember the job application I sent out a couple weeks ago? I signed for the job this Monday and resigned. Yo, dude.
Yeah, dude. Congrats. That's awesome.
Hell yeah, bro. I hope you're happy at the new place. I hope they treat you well and you're making good money. Very cool, man. Very cool. Congratulations. Goes to Sweden, comes back, new job. LFQ's life is fucking on the upswing, man.
I thought you called him the ghost of Sweden for a second.
He's the ghost of Sweden, like the entire country. The living ghost. Oh, I know.
They called that like Ukrainian fighter pilot. It was like the ghost of
yeah
or something. Yeah.
I think it was quickly figured out that person wasn't real and it was like war propaganda. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a fun story either way.
Yep.
There was like some, Ukrainian fighter ace that they were talking about, and he was like, solo shooting down like, squadrons of MiGs and stuff in the early days of the war. I liked it. It was fun propaganda. But yeah, I liked it. Yeah, Ghost of Kiev. You didn't know about this guy, Brightside? And I hope you understand what I was saying about Ed McMillan. Yeah, indie. There used to be like 3 indie devs. No, there were 4. There was Jonathan Blow. He did Braid. There was Ed McMillan and Tommy something. The only name that's stuck in my head is Tommy Tallarico, and that is not the same guy. That guy's a big fucking clown. He used to be on like
But the guy that invented the Roblox oof.
yeah. he's the guy that claims he invented the Roblox oof in a game like way before Roblox came. He's a weird guy, but he used to be all over G4 TV doing documentaries and shit like that.
The H Bomber video about him is incredible.
Yeah,
so good.
He's something of like a fraudster, I guess. I don't know this guy. I'm just going off of shit that I've seen on the internet and stuff that people have said about him. But for what it's worth, Tommy Tallarico was a very, well-known and prolific audio designer for video games. I imagine the truth is somewhere in between his claims and his accreditations, right? Like he had some pretty outrageous claims about like, I made this, I have Guinness World Records for such and such, and like all kinds of weird shit. But anyway, I digress. The Team Meat guys are Ed and Tommy, or were Ed and Tommy. I think Team Meat is now bigger. I was looking at the Super Meat Boy 3D thing. I'm skeptical about this, Brightside. Super Meat Boy OG had like a very special charm to it. I think Super Meat Boy 3D looks a little strange. I don't know that they needed to do it. They should have done like Meat Boy 2 and left it really, really highly polished, 2D platformer. That might have been a better choice, but I don't know. Meat Boy 3D is not out yet. It's on Steam. It says it has a 2026 release date, so who knows? That will probably do really well just based off the success of the, Meat Boy IP. Okay.
I wonder what that's going to be like. Like, is it going to be Super Mario 64 or like?
They've got like a GIF up on their store page that shows like 3 to 5 seconds of gameplay, and that's what made me skeptical because it's got 3D elements of the Meat Boy platforming now, and I just don't. I'm always skeptical when like a really solid 2D formula works well, and then they go, look, it's now 3D. I don't, because for me, it's a design choice, choosing your perspective, your depth and all that stuff, because you have to make gameplay that fits. Otherwise, like, why even make it 3D in the first place? So I don't fucking know. Oh, I need to catch up. Somebody has to stop Sam Hyde. He can't keep getting away with it. Dude. Sam Hyde is a wild boy, Brightside. What's up, Simple Sins? Good morning, bro. Feel like I also hung out with you all day yesterday. Just saw this epic recent SDK release no longer supports 32-bit architecture on Windows. Interesting. I just love it when Legends of War is shown to be true, like the White Death. Yeah. Simo Heha, I think. That's that guy, right? I think it's Simo. That guy is fucking awesome. Like, it's crazy. That dude's like a little tiny Finnish guy, and he like is credited with like 200 confirmed Nazi kills or something like that. He basically just defended like his vast area of the border by himself, just smoking motherfuckers. Maybe they'll make him a boss in Tarkov. Red Baron Pizza. The ghost guy. Yeah, he's gonna get, I don't know, pierogi or some shit like that. I don't know Ukrainian food. That's probably Polish, so my bad. Maybe they'll make him a boss. Yep, read that one. Sorry. He can't even drive trucks in Tarkov. Or we can't. Yeah. I wouldn't want to drive trucks in Tarkov. That sounds awful.
Yeah, they don't let you climb ladders, so yeah. I don't know if we're going to be driving vehicles.
Adder says, I think Hilfort with Long Gone is a great use of 2.5D tools to cut down on the quantity of labor required for polished 2D games. Yes, totally agree, Adder. Yeah. Like, dude's using the breadth of his experience and knowledge to make good decisions. You know, got him a publishing deal, all kinds of other shit. So yeah, he's doing it. He's doing well.
But so like, is your statement there that using 2.5D tools is making it easier for him to make a 2D game ultimately?
Yes.
Is that kind of what you mean by that?
Yeah, totally. Because you can shortcut stuff like the tools to make pure 2D games with like hand animated sprites and
100%.
shit it's a lot of fucking work. So if any of you guys, you know, out there as burgeoning devs, I mean, I know all the guys in chat right now, but if anyone is thinking like, oh, I'm just going to start and make my first game as like a 2D sprite, you know, hand animated fucking whatever game, the amount of work in that is significantly higher than making a 3D game. So don't think that it's easier to make a game like that. It's not. It's usually way harder. Chicken Kiev? Yeah, that's a thing, right? Maybe that's it.
Chicken Kiev is a thing, yeah, totally.
Okay, so Ghost of Kiev, Chicken Kiev, maybe that's it?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He can leverage lighting and fog systems for quick atmosphere without uniquely painted assets for backgrounds. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I do think, you know, from that perspective, like 3D is slightly more intuitive. And I know this just goes back to age-old art debates and stuff, but it's like, I don't know, the semi-procedural nature of 3D inherently, I think, kind of speeds up some of that, like you're talking about, which is cool.
Helen Keevler, dude, bro, you are wild. Brightside. Oh, so I think the tentative plan, Brightside. I don't know if you know what you guys have been talking about or all that, but I think the tentative plan is to have our one and only illustrious community member and Brightside beat off host, Brightside Movement, on the stream tomorrow to talk to us about Silent Sonata. I think that's the plan. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the plan.
That is the plan. And it doesn't even need to just be Silent Sonata, but the Silent Sonata was just updated, and Brightside's, you know, put some effort into it, and I probably want some people to check it out. So we're going to talk about it. And Vince and I hadn't actually played it before yesterday, and we checked it out, and I have lots of questions, and I think it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. So.
Yeah, don't worry, LFQ. You can always catch us on the YouTube, and you can you can watch the VOD or whatever, and anything you missed out on, and then you can talk to us about it next week on Tuesday, you know, when it's or Wednesday when it's easier for you to come through. So feel free to ask questions and like participate in the conversation when it's convenient for you. You know.
Yep.
The glazed one gets a guest spot. Yeah, LFQ is definitely always in everyone's hearts. Simple Sense says, I first tried making a 2D game when I tried to learn, game dev, and it didn't go anywhere because sprites hard. Yeah. Yep. Very hard. And Adder makes a good point. You could definitely argue that a streamlined 2D only pipeline could be just as effective, but it requires a lot more upfront labor than 2.5D. Yeah, because you have to build all the support systems. There's not really like a 2D sprite game engine because those types of games didn't really have like a game engine at the time. They were all like carefully, handmade by like one guy back in the day. That's just kind of how it worked. So, and when I say one guy, like one guy did all the art, all the sound, all the programming, like all the design. And that was just how it worked back in the day. I'm talking like 80s and 90s, cartridge games that we all, learned to love from home consoles, right? Submit your questions early on Discord. I mean, yeah, if anyone has questions they want to ask,
please.
Yeah, if anyone has questions they want us to ask Brightside tomorrow on stream, like please drop questions in the Discord. Tag myself or Tony, or both of us. That's a really good way to do it. So, and I'm happy to ask for you guys.
I don't think we're trying to go on like super structured, but we are definitely gonna just have some questions prepared up front, and I don't think the three of us will have any trouble talking until the stream turns off. So,
hey, what's up, Rio Grande? Dread's going really well. We've got a couple other people helping us out, which is cool. Dev team is probably about like 6 to 7 people, something like that, 6, 7. type shit. But yeah, it's great. We got Turning Cog has been doing a really, really good job making some environment art stuff for us. So that's fucking cool. Again, our scope is increasing a little bit, but it's because we're getting some very, very cool stuff added to the game, and it's gonna be good. Tony's been cooking on some really cool visual effects. Tony's also our VFX artist, just because he knows the most about VFX and he's making some cool stuff. So I love it. Who said what thing, Artificial Sky? I'm doing extensive conspiracy research for the questions. Hell yeah, Brightside.
Yeah, I told him to bring his binder. So
Simple Sins, that's the wrong ranch, but I like it. Skywalker Ranch? No, Skinwalker Ranch. Very different things. Skywalker Ranch is a Star Wars. Skinwalker Ranch is like aliens and ghosts and shit. Question submitted. All right, thank you, Turning Cog. Oh, and yeah, try to keep your questions all in the same channel. Let's see where Turning Cog posted it, and then we'll just... Okay, cool. Yeah, General Fun channel is the great spot. So everyone just post your questions there for Brightside for tomorrow. Spider Noir with Nick Cage dropped its first test images yesterday. Pretty stoked to see Nick Cage in another superhero movie. Hell yeah, dude. Is this a Marvel movie? I don't know about Spider Noir.
Is it not Spider-Verse? Like animated?
It is. Yeah. Okay, so he's the... Well, did you watch Spider-Verse?
I've seen Spider-Verse. I haven't seen second Spider-Verse.
In one of them, there's like a black and white Detective Spider-Man.
I think he shows up in the first one and then is maybe more prevalent in the second one or something. But I haven't seen the second one, and I've only seen the first one once.
Simple Sins, if we were more prepared, yeah, threads for the questions would be nice, but we're not.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It's going to be an overwhelming amount of stuff. So
yeah, we have quite a few people in Discord, but there's a core group of people that usually show up for the stream. So my expectation is that we'll get a couple of questions, if any. Turning Cog's question is Brightside, how did you get so cool? So it's... I feel like that's not a real question, but I like it. I like the spirit of it. It's live action. Thought it was going to be a movie, but it looks like a series. Oh, okay.
Live action? Interesting.
I did see that it was live action. MGM Sony, not a Disney production. Ooh, that's going to be interesting, dude.
Sony won't let that Spider-Man go, that's for sure.
No, and that could be bad. It may be not good.
Sony Spider-Man has been hit and miss. I mean, they gave us Tobey Maguire, which was good, and then they gave us Andrew Garfield, which was the...
Yep. I mean, I guess technically they were different Spider-Mans because there's like 5. There's Amazing, Spectacular, and then just regular Spider-Man and some other kinds of Spider-Mans. All the Peter Parkers are like, multiverse type shit. It's Spider-Man's comic stories are very complicated.
So you'll have the option to watch it in black and white or color. Cowards.
Yeah, what the fuck? Literally, just commit.
Yeah. He says, the truth is they both work and they're beautiful for different reasons. The color is super saturated and gorgeous. I think teenage viewers will appreciate the color, but I also want them to have the option. If they want to experience the concept in black and white, maybe that would instill some interest in them to look at earlier movies and enjoy that as an art form as well.
Fucking MBAs, dude.
Into it, dude.
MBAs and executives were in there being like,
you should really put this in color.
Color resonates with the younger generation.
Yeah.
Make your art the Gen Z colorized version. Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what he said. Teenagers will like the color version.
There is literally an advantage to doing black and white, especially if you're doing, film noir shit. Like, that's the whole point, man.
Especially for film noir. It's like, I don't know. I've watched Mad Max in black and white. Amazing. So good.
Hell yeah.
It's not a movie that needed to be in black and white, but like George Miller, I think, said that he liked it better that way or something. So I gave it a shot and I did like it, but I don't know.
Oh, Tony, was that you logging in on Twitch? I just saw that.
Me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what's the like Sin City black and white? Really good.
Well, and it has color, but like
Godzilla black and white. Fucking
okay.
banger.
So good.
Simple Sins, don't say that. An older, grizzled version of Spider-Man who is down on his luck, private investigator and superhero from an alternate world based on 1930s New York City. Yep. Yeah, -1. That was it. Thank you, Adder. Yeah. Like I'm not a huge Godzilla fan, but that is a great piece of cinema. I like Godzilla, but I wouldn't say I'm like a Godzilla fan, you know?
I haven't made a good Godzilla thing aside from -1 maybe ever.
That's why
the concept has always been cool, but it's just like literally never been pulled off.
That's why I say I'm not like a huge Godzilla fan, because I've watched them all and I like all of them. Which, if you're like a purist Godzilla fan, there's some that like make you very angry, and you're like,
I mean, we've talked
like
about this before, but when the American '90s one came out, that had like the soundtrack that everybody loves and stuff, that had like Green Day and things on it. Like, I was 8 years old. I had the bed sheets. I had the action figures. Like, my birthday party, I think, was Godzilla themed. Like, I don't know. I was really into it at the time. I remember.
Oh, that just reminded me, because I was about to be like lizard memeing when you were saying that. You know, Tony out there hitting the lizard button. We get the movie dropped. There's a trailer for it now, so we know what the lizard meme is from. It's a movie. It was originally a teaser short at the end of a Pixar film. I don't remember exactly which one.
Okay.
But it's called The Hoppers. Hold on. Yeah, it's called Hoppers.
Interesting.
I think. Yes, Hoppers. After a group of scientists invent a way to hop human minds into lifelike robotic animal bodies, an animal living teenager named Mabel uses technology to embody a robotic beaver and thwart a construction company's plot to blah, 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 blah. So that's, I guess it's a comedy for kids. We'll see if it's good.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Turning cog. Lizard.
You know the lizard scene is going to go hard. So.
Yes. I wonder if the kids are going to like trash the theaters and, you know, just like they did with Chicken Jockey.
Chicken Jockey, that shit. Okay.
They're going to be like, lizard! For no reason, because they can't contain themselves in public.
I mean, that would be kind of amazing, but...
if you're going into a monster movie in 2025, 26 as a purist, you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm just along for the ride. Exactly, Eder. Yeah. I just like fun stuff, you know. I admittedly I do like some bad stuff because it's just fun, you know, where I'm not like, I can be a little pretentious or snobby with my taste in things, but I'm also not at the same time. Never saw -1 because yeah, Millie's in it. No. Yeah, that's a different one. Simple Sins. Yeah, that one is, I think it's fine. It's not my favorite either.
The one that has Bryan Cranston in it.
Yeah, is it Bryan Cranston?
I never saw that one, but it came out in like, I'm gonna guess 2012, maybe maybe like 2016.
Let's see. Godzilla King of Monsters, Godzilla versus Kong. That's what she was in. I don't remember. I don't know if Bryan Cranston's in this one.
He was in one that came out that I never saw, but it was like the last time Americans made Godzilla.
Oh yeah, he is like slapping a butt, not hitting. I just realized that.
Like a military guy or something. I don't know. I'm speaking purely off seeing like previews, but
I don't remember. I was talking about the lizard emotes. I just realized that Turning Cog's lizard emote is the lizard slapping a butt, not hitting the lizard emote. Or yeah, it's the emote, right? Emoji or some shit. Meanwhile, Overwatch is on the mend and it's gone. Yeah, I think we talked about that last week
It's
because I
just
saw
Overwatch
something.
now, right?
Yeah, it's not Overwatch 2 anymore. It's just Overwatch. And I don't know. They've already had issues with the character design. People are mad about it. And they're like, don't worry, we'll do better. And I'm like, what? There's nothing wrong. I don't understand.
There
I
was
don't understand when
a
people are upset.
there was a thing I saw about how people were saying that the new characters kind of just look like all the other characters, and then people were like, "Yeah, if you take off all of the hair and the earrings and the freckles and stuff, it's literally the same face model on every character." And they took it into an editor and kind of just like put different hair on the head, and it's like, here's Tracer and here's
Yep.
Black Widow, and yeah.
And the reason this was drawing ire is because they announced a new character that was supposed to be like the rugged, tough, strong older sister of one of the other characters. And when they released the character art, she had like a younger face. And like, I don't know, the article that I was reading was very strange. It was like, fans react negatively to a character that appears very young and more mature than she should. And I'm like, how do you appear young and mature? That's an oxymoronic
There's like
statement.
an animated cinematic that wasn't in 3D where the character looked one way and was like fairly unique from all the other female characters, and then when they showed the 3D model from the game, because of what I just said,
yes,
faces all the other ones, and it doesn't look anything like the animated one, which is a weird choice on their part, to be fair. But I'm pretty sure that's what that's talking about. It's kind of strange.
Yeah, and then of course the like current project lead or whatever goes on his Instagram and is like, we heard you. You guys are right. We didn't hold ourselves to the correct standards when designing this character. We can do better, and we're gonna do better, and we're gonna redesign this character. And I'm like, what is this? What are we doing? And I'm with Adder on they got rid of the 2 because they didn't deliver on any of the content they added the 2 for. And then what a fucking joke of project management. Yeah. The AAA fumblers, man. You got the bag and you're just fucking throwing it into a furnace. I don't understand. Yeah, I can't with Blizzard anymore either, Artificial Sky. It's so disappointing where they've gone. Adder says,
looks like they already pushed a new face for the one that
I
was mad about. Yep.
All right, I gotta see it. Overwatch character.
And maybe it's just people editing it. I can't tell. I was trying to find this GIF of them like swapping the hair out so I could show what I was talking about, but
oh, okay. I think I can speculate here. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about Prince of Persia and how the one voice actor was like, I didn't know the project was canceled, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, some of this controversy was started by the voice actor who played this character and was like, this wasn't what they said the character would look like, and was like on social media talking about it. And it's possible that's what caused the snowball to gain momentum. Again, a voice actor speaking out, saying that they don't like the thing that they worked on. I do not fucking understand this mentality. I can't get behind it. Artificial Sky says, I've seen it, Tony. What are you talking about, the character design?
No, it's just it's this GIF where they like have all of the Overwatch characters in like Blender or something, and they just like take all of the features off the face and then put the different features on, and they can just like swap out all of them. And then at the end they put like Troll Bjorn's beard and stuff on, the female base, which is really funny. But
yeah, Simple Sins, I hear what you're saying.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. Shoot it if you see it. Send it to me and I'll put it up. But
Turning Cog, I would argue that's like one of the weird cases where it actually helped the film. That original Sanic design was so fucking weird, man.
I would have been into it.
I would have been into it still. Like, I would have been like, oh, this is scuffed and very strange, and I don't know what this is, but I like it. But I do think that the Sonic redesign that they did was good. Obviously, like the movies have done very well, so they made good choices. Once again, actors acting like they know anything about the character other than what was in the script. Not to say they aren't right about this one, but voice actors are usually so disconnected from character art and game dev side that I'd take every word with a boulder of salt. 100% my point, Adder. Like, that's what's so weird to me. Like, why is this even a part of the conversation? Why does anyone care what the fucking voice actor said? Why? Like, it's literally not the same thing as like film, where like an actor just creates the character and brings it to life on screen. It does not work that way. They're just a voice. They're like a supporting element for this whole narrative conceit and this whole design of a fictitious. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Here's what I was talking about.
I love it. Actually, they should just ship that design, dude. Completely bald. Dude, there's so many of these characters that, oh my god, they are the same character. Galactus, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Well, and somebody said like the dev team has talked about the fact that their process is that they basically have a base that they start from and customize on top of. And so,
Yep.
like, to some extent, this isn't even really a meme. Like, they change the textures and there's probably like slightly different things here and there, but it allows them to probably have like one skeleton and, a fairly straightforward pipeline for adding new characters without having to have something custom for every single one.
Artificial Sky, who caught a ban for bashing players? I don't know that one. Yeah, I mean, good point, Turning Cog. Yeah. Actually, no, I might have known you longer, Turning Cog, because you came through the stream. You've been in the stream for like a year-ish. I actually met Simple Sins IRL. That's how I know him. He knows someone that knows someone that knows someone that I know. Like, it was one of those things. Then we just got to talking. I'm glad you guys still think it's funny. I like to throw the little subtle memes in there with deadpan delivery for you guys because it's funny as fuck. And, trust me, it's usually on purpose. Unless I say something and I didn't mean to make a joke and I'm like, I literally didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Like I crack puns sometimes that I don't mean to do. Voice actors usually hang out in a rented booth in the city that they live in for like 1 to 2 days, usually once or twice, and that's it. Zero interaction with the dev team, only talking to a producer rep. Yes, very true. At Bungie, we had them come in because we had like a very fancy floating room recording booth and stuff like that. So we would want them to come in if they could. That was the preference. I'm pretty sure that was one of the beefs with Dinklage, is that he was filming Game of Thrones and he refused to come into the studio for any of the recording sessions, and he would do it all by phone, literally by phone. Actually phoned it in. I don't know if I can say that, but whatever. If I can't, my apologies. I did not mean to disclose anything. Oh, the chick that's acting all high and mighty now. Yeah, totally. Wait, she got banned? Like on what? On social media? I agree with your point, Tony, 100%. But knowing how crazy different our characters are in MS2, but all share the same skeleton and core anims, this case is the Overwatch team being lazy. Yeah. There's like a way to do that modular construction that you have to do to streamline these pipelines, make the costs lower, all of that stuff to still release things that players like. But yeah, this is very obviously, they could have done something different and they just chose not to. And they were like, maybe no one will notice. Well, you pushed the limit a little too far and people did notice.
Part of me almost wonders if it's like the people who work there now are not of the caliber of the people who used to work there and literally cannot make a character as, impactful as the original Overwatch characters, no matter how hard they try. I don't know.
Oh, she got a 30-day Twitch ban for being a bigot. That's crazy. Yep. Please stop. Please stop doing that shit, guys. If any of you are out there watching this and listening to me, please knock it off. Just do the fucking job. Be proud of the work you got. Be proud of the thing you put in. Don't make this weird adversarial relationship. You're just going to hurt your career. It's crazy. And of course, like for you guys that may not be aware of this, what happens in those situations is that person is now like blacklisted and they're not going to get jobs because they've created a fucking problem for the company that hired them. It's crazy. I don't know why you would do that. And of course, they can't say that publicly because then there's going to be more outcry, and the support that they're getting from their social media channels is going to like be their personal army to say they deserve a job. And it's like none of it's based on merit or their contribution. It's all just based on weird social media activism. Adder said I could be playing a Mega Macho Bro in plate armor or a dump truck female warrior in cloth armor with the same core skeleton. Dude, if you're talking about Mortal Shell 2, I'm playing a fucking female character. If you got dump trucks, dude, I'm fucking doing it. Like crazy metal, like action stuff with like dump truck female. Let's fucking go, bro. I'm here for it. Matthew McConaughey literally did all the recording from his bed in a mansion in silk PJs for that new archetype project. Yeah, but okay, so we have to clarify here. My understanding is that Matthew McConaughey knows the fucking business, and he's like very fucking serious about what he does. He doesn't talk shit. He's not trying to create controversy. He's just trying to be good at what he does. Just do a very good job acting, be proud of his work. Like that's a different caliber person. This voice actor these voice actors, I should say, who are doing the social media activism stuff, they're relatively unknown. So for them, doing this gets a lot more PR and a lot more following. But like, do you want to be an influencer or do you want to be a fucking actor? Pick one, like I think that's what irks me about it. It's like, just, I'm, say what you want to say, do whatever, but like understand there's consequences, right? Like why, I just don't understand why you'd hurt your own career. Simple Sin says agreed. Dump truck female warriors. Hell yeah. Goth mommies. I mean, those are in vogue, right? But still, I gotta say, today's goth ain't yesteryear's goth. It's different. You can't just put on can't dye your hair black and put on extra makeup and make yourself extra pale and be like, I'm goth. It's not just an aesthetic. It was a lifestyle. You needed to be chain smoking cigarettes at Denny's at 3:00 in the morning and just drinking black coffee and then being depressed. That's the way to do it. Yeah, MCR is not goth. That's not goth at all. She got banned for BR bashing. That gets a voice acting job for Overwatch, and High Road's about character design. Yeah. Oh, she was talking shit about Brazilians? That's crazy. Bro, like, why are we doing this? People just need to stop that shit. Just knock it off. Like, entertainment is entertainment. It's there to distract people from how crazy things are in the world. It's not there as like, I don't know. I'm over it. I'm tired of it. I think poser rules work different for women. Those are called e-girls, Brightside. Yes. And this website, twitch.television, is rife with e-girls. A selfie with a controller? Yeah, exactly. Yes. I am friends with a few e-girls. They're fine. But yeah, I know what you mean. Some of them are literally not gamers at all, but they're like, look, I'm a gamer, and they're not. And that's annoying. I mean, Brightside's kind of an e-girl. Not in the negative way I was saying. I think he's like a real one. Bio says they're support mains. I mean, their name would be like Jesse Murder on MySpace. Dude. Oh, man. That's so funny. There's so like some e-girls are real ones, real gamers, very serious, good gamers. They give a fuck about the games they play. They just happen to also like be pretty and doing the influencer thing. Totally fine. Other ones are like fake ass fucking gamers and just trying to capitalize on it. And those are the ones that I don't like, But I'm trying to think of like what's the dude equivalent, right? There's definitely some. A guy who's like, I don't know, he just only plays the most popular FPS and then talks about politics all the time on stream is probably the male equivalent of an e-girl, right? It's not unique to the genders, right? It's just it is what it is. Your buddy is a Sona main? yeah. Artificial Sky's a Mercy main. I mean, dude, we had the good I can't remember what they called the combo, but the Pharah Mercy combos are very fun. I liked playing Pharah. Brightside's a conspiracy girl. Yeah, I guess that's true. I can see that. The thing though is it's not cute for a guy to be a nerd. Exactly, dude. Exactly. It's only cute when a hot girl has nerdy interests that they and then they exploit that. Yeah, totally. I mean, I married one. Hot girl with nerdy interests. It's my favorite. Okay, so we were talking shit about Overwatch. We were looking at them things. Let's see what was in the news. I feel like there was a couple things to talk about. I touched on Mugenics. I gotta refresh myself with the gameplay Mugenics. Because the trailer is really weird. It doesn't really show you how the game is played.
I definitely, do not even know what it is. It is like Pokemon, maybe, kind of.
You like, I think it's a roguelite with cats, and you like breed the cats selectively to give them certain traits to finish the run. It's really weird. I'm not sure. I mean, if you're familiar with all the weird shit in Binding of Isaac, that's Mugenics. You're going to get some weird shit that's just cat-based. I see 2 cute nerds on my screen right now. Thank you, LFQ. My kids found a song on Apple Music called No Mercy, and I didn't realize it was about Overwatch. That's crazy. That's crazy. Do your kids even like know about Overwatch, or they just like the song? All right, let's see what the news is.
We could talk about Discord.
Oh yeah. Okay. So do you want to give the primer on it? I don't know if you thought about how to word it or anything.
Discord says they're gonna classify all accounts as teenagers by default starting next month, and you're gonna have to verify your age either by sending them your ID or doing a face scan to access not safe for work servers.
Age restricted. It doesn't have to be not safe for work. It's just you can set things as age restricted.
You can't unblur age restricted content. You can't accept messages from people who
I think that's good.
Friends. Some of the stuff is like reasonable, but being blanket applied to everybody, it's not opt out. Everybody's really mad about it.
I think they're killing their own platform. I understand that they have to do something for, it's a huge tool. They got to do something. It's gonna harm the amount of users for sure. Like it just will.
I saw a news story that said searches for like the phrase Discord alternative were like 100,000% up after this announcement. Like,
yep.
Yeah, they're going to lose a large chunk of market share over this change, which is, fuck around, find out for them, I guess.
Boys, is Ventrilo coming back? Is the dream real?
So the discussion I see, Vent is not it. Nobody wants to do Vent. That's, that's the one that everybody's like, we're not doing Vent.
That's some boomer shit. We don't want that.
there's TeamSpeak 6 or something, which has come out recently, which is basically self-hosted Discord. Looks like it has most of the same things, so that could be worth a consideration. The one that I see everybody talking about right now is called, and I just lost it. Hold on, let's see if it shows up if I just search Discord alternatives. Yeah, the one I saw is not even on here. Like a guy's name or something. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm pretty annoyed at this whole thing, and Discord has gotten more annoying about every 6 months for the past 2 or 3 years now. So I don't know.
Something. What is it? How does it feel to live long enough to watch all of your beloved franchises, like burn and die or something like that? Meme. Feels great.
A lot of people said Stoat, but other people are saying that they don't like it. I think it used to be called Revolt.
Oh, Tony, real quick.
Yeah.
We got the Our Drong raid. What's up, brothers? What's up, my Drong? Welcome, gang. Sorry, we're talking about Discord right now. And how long did you say it was going to take, Tony?
They said starting next month, so presumably,
shit. Yeah. So starting next month, Discord is going to require like age verification. So we're just talking about that and like what we think it means. A lot of us are going like, well, that's going to kill Discord. And Tony was saying the search for Discord alternative went up how much percentage?
Like 10 or 100,000%.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Here, let me see if I can just find that headline.
No, real quick. My Drong, it's global. They're rolling it out for everything.
It says globally for sure. Yeah.
So everyone's going to get the change. If you are a member of an age-restricted server, you will no longer be able to access it. If you have access to age-restricted channels without verification, you won't be able to access those anymore. You can't unblur things. Nobody will be able to receive DMs from someone they don't know without some kind of like parental control, age verification thing or something like that. Yep. It's big changes to the whole platform. It's a norm for Australia. Yeah. So Drist, I'm assuming you're just trying to be Drist, Orden. So if you want to be called Dorist, I could do that too, but I'm familiar with Drist. It's norm for Australia. In Australia, social media sites have to prove the users are over the age of 16. So basically, we as adults have to keep taking out our driver's license to prove it. Yep. So this is where I'm torn, guys. Like, I think it's really, really important for the future of humanity to not have kids on social media getting into, days-long arguments with adults on anything. It's fucking crazy. And
or just accidentally being exposed to
whatever horrible stuff. The real world, which is very violent and awful in many ways. That's why we have entertainment. That's why we like create art that tries to inspire people to be better and like more kind and caring. Like all of that exists because the reality is that it doesn't work that way for most people. It's pretty bleak and life is hard and things are tough. So pretending that it's not like that is kind of crazy. So we got to protect kids from this shit. Furthermore, like it causes developmental problems. We know that, like we can see it. Which reminds me, I think this was during the Super Bowl. It was either Super Bowl or Olympics. I saw an ad for TikTok, which I was kind of on board with. And the ad was parental controls. So, they didn't announce anything about age verification or anything like that. But I really liked the parental controls that TikTok was rolling out. I don't use TikTok, but you'll be able to, like, as a parent, create an account for the kid. They only use that, obviously in a perfect world, they only use their parentally controlled account. And then the parent can, like, set limitations on the amount of time that they can use the app. They can monitor all of the messages that go through the app. They can see who's following that account. They can see who that account has followed. So like it's pretty robust for like being in touch with what your kid's doing on social media. I think that's cool. I think we should do more shit like
YouTube rolled out, because YouTube has YouTube Kids and has had like family accounts, parental controls to some extent for a long time, but they generally, the way that it works is that YouTube, I think videos and maybe entire accounts can be classified as content for kids, and if it's classified as that, it can show up in kids searches, but it will not show up, but they won't see things that aren't classified that way. And then it also has some effect on like kids content not really showing up for adults because adults don't want to see it. So
Right.
That's always been kind of like a weird system in YouTube that you kind of have to play along with depending on what your content is. But the new system that they rolled out recently, which a lot of people are actually praising them for, is just like a button that says no shorts. Like
Ooh,
yes, they don't
please.
even exist to your kid's account. You cannot see shorts just across the board. Doesn't
You
matter.
can't do that on a main account though. I want to get rid of shorts, man.
Everybody said, "Why can't I turn this on from my personal account? I don't want to see the shorts." And yeah, maybe they'll roll that out eventually, but that's the thing. But the only thing I want to talk about with all of this Discord stuff, I think Vince's points are correct. But if everybody wants to redon their tinfoil hat real quick, the conspiracy, whatever that everybody talks about, is just the fact that like we're literally building corporations, the government, whoever, a database of face IDs.
Yes, I don't like that.
Effectively, kind of like getting to that point where we're in like the Minority Report future, where you like walk in, we're already there, 100%. But like you walk in the store, a camera sees you, it scans your face, it knows who you are. If you're a wanted criminal or something, like, you know, I don't know if you guys saw this Super Bowl commercial and maybe some of the stuff about this Guthrie woman who got kidnapped, but this all plays together in that they've shown now that Flock and Ring have teamed up to effectively create this neural network that allows you to like find your lost pet, because all of the cameras are connected together and like some central agency has access to them, whether you say they do or not. And yeah, I mean, who knows what not finding your lost pet type things they'll use that for. That could be bad.
I want to throw this out there. The technology way outpaced legislature. So yep. we don't have rights to control any of that shit because there's no laws protecting us. So
yeah, so you combine that system that I just talked about, where Flock can access every Ring camera in the world on top of all the Flock cameras that we know about, and probably a bunch of security cameras at businesses and stuff. And then now we're also giving them a really nice data stream of all of our faces, all of our identifying features and stuff, so that they can train their models to be better at identifying us quicker. And nobody should be cool with that. And I don't know if there's going to be much way around it, but like that sucks. And that's literally what this is. So,
I'll throw this out there. My take on it: this is good for kids.
Yep.
I don't want to use it anymore.
The rest of it is terrible.
I don't want to use it anymore. I don't want to be tracked. I don't want to, you know, it's funny I say this because like my face and voice and, you know, all that is on the internet. Like we've been live streaming for a couple of years. So like my information's already out there, right? Like, but
I am, you know, perfectly comfortable with the fact that like, you know, that ship has sailed, and I just live my life with that knowledge and behave accordingly.
But that's a choice that we made, right? Yep. It's like now this is being like pushed on everyone, and there's nothing we can do about it. You know, we like the legislature has to catch up very quickly, and we have to think about privacy concerns.
But the government is very incentivized to keep this shit around and do more of it. So
yep, they want it to work that way. It's on us. The citizenry has to be, at least in this country, we have to be like, this is unacceptable. Yep. We have to knock this shit off. We don't want to live in a surveillance state. But nobody cares. Like no one's worried about it. Like, you know, I see, you know, footnotes in the news about Flock cameras, and then, you know, big stories are like Orange Man bad, or, you know, the libs bad, and like no one is watching the actual things that are happening that affect all of us, regardless of your politics and whatever, right? Like it sucks. It fucking really sucks. We're just rushing headlong into the dumbest dystopia ever. Drist said Brazilian butt lift or big booty Latina. I need to move a body. I know you meant be back later, but I like saying that version of BBL.
So Discord definitely is panicking right now, guaranteed, because of all the stuff that we just talked about. They did put out a post, I think kind of later yesterday, that I've got up right here, that tries to kind of clarify what's going on. I don't think this makes anybody feel better, to be fair, but it says that They're not requiring everyone to complete a face scan. The vast majority of people can continue using Discord exactly as they do today without ever being asked to confirm their age. But again, they're going to talk about why here in a second. I think this, if anything, just kind of makes it feel worse. But you need to be an adult to access age-restricted experience, such as age-restricted servers and channels. For the majority of adult users, we will be able to confirm your age group using information that we already have. We use age prediction to determine with high confidence when a user is an adult. This allows many adults to access age-appropriate features without completing an explicit age check. So they're going to use an algorithm to decide how old you are. And then that may or may not lock you out of content or require you to send them your face. And then it says facial scans never leave your device, which means that from the way I understand it, I don't even know how that could be true, but like they would need to be effectively running like a machine learning algorithm on an image on your machine without it ever leaving, which it would then guess your age and then just like return back to the server, which doesn't sound very secure to me either, because it would mean that a user could just like send that data back with different information in it if they like really cared to fake this. I don't know. I mean, we're talking about like kids faking their ages, but I know like people are going out of their way in Australia to get on social media still. So, you know, it's probably not out of the realm of possibility. But yeah, so I don't know.
Simple Sin said they're essentially profiling younger generations to keep tracking them for the future. Yeah. I mean, and I don't think it's for anything as insidious as like punishing a political dissident. I think, at least in the United States, it's probably to advertise more effectively and, you know, condition people and separate them from their dollars.
Just be that like, there's no reason you couldn't use it for that later, though. I guess, you know.
Yep. That's probably the real reason they want it, is so they can make more money off of it.
That's a very extreme thing to say, like, oh, the surveillance data is coming up so they can, you know, punish people who disagree with them. Like, that's probably not the case right now. But
yeah,
like,
not in this country, at least.
We're just building the tool that might allow someone who decides they want to do that later to do it, which is probably not a good idea. So,
yep.
I don't know. You know, politics aside, I think most people would probably agree with that not really being a great thing. So.
Adder says, my brother's an elementary school teacher, and YouTube app was at one point allowed on classroom laptops using YouTube Kids, but it would quickly discover the kids were watching some horrible stuff regardless of the filter being enabled. Now it's largely blocked in California school computers. That's crazy.
There's also a thing where like malicious people would upload kids content that was not kids content, specifically so that situation would happen. And YouTube YouTube receives 20 years of data every second or something like that. There's no way they can possibly moderate any of it. So they have to rely on automated systems.
Unk status. Yeah, dude. We all unks. Regarding the algorithm in Australia, they said the same thing. People used photos of a dog, which broke the algorithm and let kids get in. Yeah, totally. That's the thing we're talking about.
The default character in Gary's mod is a pretty popular one. That works good. If I get the face scan thing, I 100% am not going to scan my face. I'm going to try to find the most ridiculous possible thing to scan just to see if it will work. So kind of recommend everybody else do that too.
Hellcat was asking, isn't Discord doing that because they would start facing legal repercussions if they don't? We don't know.
I mean, yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just saying all this other stuff is also part of the reality of it.
Yes.
Regardless. And Discord probably feels like they don't really have a choice, which I don't know. I don't really know what people want here, but I feel like a lot of them, much like myself, are just kind of going like, I don't want to send Discord in my face. I don't really care why. Like, I'm just going to stop my thought process there and find something else that doesn't make me do that.
Bright side, I think Rings have had a couple of information scandals already. I'm not super up on it, but I remember we were talking about getting a smart doorbell camera thing, and Tony was like, do not get a Ring.
Do not get a Ring. Get a Ring.
It's very exploitable. There's a lot of like holes in it, and your data, like, it's vulnerable. I think
by default, it shares your Wi-Fi network with all other Amazon devices, and there might be a way to turn that off, but there's also like kind of not, from the way that I understand it.
Yep.
And it's kind of like the way that like Apple AirTags work, where like they just need to have an Apple device nearby to like broadcast to the network where they are. They kind of built that same thing into Ring, but it just like uses the Wi-Fi in your house, and you don't really have any control, and it segments it into its own network so it's secure or whatever, but I guarantee that it's not like 100%, and I don't know. So the other thing I briefly mentioned, this Guthrie woman who's been kidnapped, and I don't really even know all the details of that case, but the thing that I keep seeing that's coming out right on the back of the Super Bowl thing that I was just talking about, that the woman had a Ring camera and it did not have a subscription. And when you have a Ring camera that doesn't have a subscription, it only saves your recordings for like one day. Or if somebody has one, maybe you can correct me here, but it's not a very long time. You have to pay their like $15 a month, and then you get like 30 days of your recordings being saved so that you can go and recover them or whatever. And I believe Ring has even said in the past that like they get deleted. They are not there. They can't recover them. There's nothing you can do if you don't pay the subscription. Anyways, this prominent woman has been kidnapped. She had a Ring camera. She didn't pay the subscription, and the FBI has shown that they were able to get the video off of her. I don't think it was off the camera. I think it was off the servers. And
it's still recording is the point.
Yeah, it's going all over the news. Yeah, the point is it's still being recorded. It's still being saved in a database. They're lying to everybody about the fact that it doesn't exist, and then they can just pull it back up when they need to and give it to the government.
Yep.
And again, that feels pretty fucked up. Yeah, I know I'm really starting to sound like Alex Jones here. It's like, I don't know.
Like
it just keeps going deeper and deeper. So I don't know.
Yeah, Artificial Sky said something about like Fourth Amendment's rights are already being thoroughly violated. Yeah, absolutely. Like they really are. I got to make sure that I'm agreeing with the right statement here. What is the Fourth Amendment?
Yeah, I don't want to say something stupid, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking. Unreasonable search and seizure. Yeah, which would probably qualify for your information. Just being, all your personal information given to the government. They're definitely like in your personal business right now.
For what it's worth, I got a Reolink camera system. It has a DVR that sits in my basement. It lives on my network. It doesn't connect to the internet. There's no cloud system that it's uploading to. There's nobody that can access it but me. I don't even have it set up very fancy where I can like get to it easily from outside my house, kind of on purpose. And that's a good way to go if you want something like this, is just don't get something that requires like an internet connection and a cloud subscription and all of this stuff, because you don't own that data inherently. Like there's going to be some terms and conditions you sign right at the beginning that says you don't own this data, and you're cool with that, and you say agree.
Yeah, mocap, I think you're kind of fucked, dude. I think your soundbar is going to have Alexa, and it's just capturing everything you say all the time. We had some like first gen Alexas in the house, and they started to act weird, and we just unplugged them all. We just don't use them anymore. And one of the crazy things is I was like, we had one like down in the living room. I was upstairs in the bedrooms, and I like kind of whispered at it. It fucking heard me clearly. Yep. Clearly. And like,
I honestly think the older ones used to be built basically in this way, kind of like the light on your webcam. And I don't know if you guys know this, but like the light on your webcam is wired into the USB cable in such a way that if the computer wants to get the video from the camera, that light has to turn on. It's just like in the circuit, and you can't turn the camera on without the light turning on. And that's a safety feature so that you always know if the camera's on, and there's no way to override it in software or anything. And on early smart home devices, they used to have a separate chip that had a microphone on it, or it was like attached to the microphone that was separate from like the whole computer inside the device. And the only thing that thing would do would be to listen constantly for the phrases that would unlock it. And then that would cause the entire thing to power on. And that made it so that it was listening to you all the time, but it was going onto like a stupid little microchip that had no RAM in it or anything. And so it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't being saved. It didn't matter. It was safe. And it kind of worked like the webcam light. But I know that in more modern systems where they want it to be much smarter and listen for a lot more varied cues and be able to identify your voice and stuff, like I think at a point they just said like, no, I can't do that anymore. It just has to listen to you all the time, and that's just like how it is. And we're not saving it, we promise. But yeah. So
Brightside says, I'm actually pretty sane for being this crazy. No, I agree with that, dude. I agree. Brightside's a good guy. Yo, what's up, Illuminous? Illuminous said, did you guys see that Help Me Not Jerk It app that had a data breach? No, dude. What? What? That's fucking crazy.
I don't know if I'm going to put that on the screen.
How do these apps work anyway? Are you like, oh man, I'm really like, does it just block shit on your phone so you can't get into the degen stuff?
It's probably like, My guess is so you can talk to other people who are in the same boat and have solidarity and like, I don't know.
Omni said, I love the Ring dog finder and I hate it at the same time. It's such a cool thing, but the power of abuse is so bad. Yeah, that's the problem, Omni, is we don't have legislature that's caught up to the tech yet. And it's Wild West. It's just free for all, and we are all being exploited by tech
where like
companies.
that exists and it's not
Yeah.
extremely problematic. Like we can't have neural net dog finder security network. Like it's just how it needs to be, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah.
Local storage cameras only. Yeah, exactly. Artificial sky. Mocap says, looks like I'm gonna have to disconnect it from Wi-Fi. That sucks. Yeah, you really do. The thing that Tony was talking about is it was the Amazon neighborhood, I think it was what it was. And it was like a default enabled feature. A lot of people started to figure out it was a huge security hole into your network. Yes. And so Amazon was like, oh, oops, we can now turn it off.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really off though? We don't know. You have to just trust that the company that did something to compromise your personal information is now complicit in protecting your personal information when it's against their best interest to do so. Most people are uninformed and don't care and don't know. And, you know, the now it's like a decade old saying, if you don't know what the commodity is for a free app, it's you. They're selling your information. That's what it is. And so like, that's the thing you got to always keep in mind. If you're like, oh man, this is like pretty sweet and I get all this cool free shit, and then you start wondering why your phone is advertising things to you, and it's because you're in something that is just tracking the shit out of you. And that
there was like stories about how Amazon, they found out like low-level Amazon like call center customer service people could just like pull your Ring videos up and look at them and review them to like, you know, help you with customer service or something. But then they found out that people were like doing really gross stuff with that and accessing things that they weren't supposed to. And maybe they closed that security hole. Who knows? But you know.
Turning Cog says the smartest device I have is my rice maker that sings me a song. Bro, rice cookers that sing little songs are my favorite shit.
Is it like a Zoji Rishi or
that's
whatever?
What we have.
I have like a $12 rice cooker, and I've wanted to get one of those really fancy ones for a long time.
Dude, the Zoji Rishi is sick.
I know it's like that's, you go to Tokyo and the sushi restaurant has one. Like that's the one to get. But
yep. And Tony, you know how to use it, right? You know how to measure the water level?
It's the knuckle trick. Yeah. You always got to rinse your fucking rice off too.
Yes.
I know that.
At least like 6 times until the water is clear. You get all that starch off of there.
It makes such a difference. It's crazy.
And then you don't need to measure the amount of water you put in with a measuring cup. You use your finger. I don't know why. It fucking works. You use up to this digit, like that first knuckle, and you just, if you touch the top of the rice with your finger, perfect. Let it rip. And it's every time it's perfect.
How a rice cooker works. I think it's like so fucking cool.
Yeah, they're so neat. I don't understand them. It's magic to me, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
So there's a magnet at the bottom where the bowl touches, and a property of magnets is that their magnetic properties change when they reach a certain temperature, and that temperature just happens to be right above the boiling point of water. But a thing that water does is that it doesn't allow things to get over the boiling point of water while it's there, because it absorbs all of the heat. And so basically it gets hot enough to boil the water to cook the rice, and then when there's not enough water to like maintain insulation anymore, it causes that magnet to get so hot that the switch lets go and clicks.
That's sick, dude.
Some Japanese guy invented that shit in like the 40s.
That's so fucking cool.
Like, yeah, it's so cool. And it's still like, we're like 100 years out and it still works the same way that it did before.
Okay, Adder wrote a big thing that I want to read. The one positive about Alexa-style devices, my aunt accidentally mixed up her medication and passed out while standing in her kitchen. She fell backwards into a cabinet, severed her spinal cord. Holy
my God.
Fuck. She lived alone and she called out to her smart device and it saved her. That's
I can't believe she could call out to her smart device. That's so wild, dude.
That's fucking crazy.
And I mean, to that point, my family has put a Google Home in my grandpa's house, and it's pointed at his stairs, and it's set up in such a way that like he walks by it 100 times a day, and it's like the first thing he walks by in the morning, and my dad can check it on his phone and get motion alerts, and like immediately, you know, if they don't see him by 9 a.m. in a day or something, they send somebody over there to check on him and stuff. So you know, those devices are great for that. There's, you know, And I would say like you're getting to a point with, elderly people who are needy and stuff where like the downsides are maybe a little lower than they are for like a family with children, or I don't know, somebody who's, you know, politically unsafe, or I don't know, all of the things that we've talked about. So
Yeah.
there's positives and negatives. I think it's more just about being aware of all of this stuff and what the cost of it actually is, because it's not always apparent.
Brightside was wondering about the thing. It's called Life Alert. That was the little pendant that you could click if you fell and you couldn't get up, and it would just immediately dial 911. Yeah, I got you,
I
homie.
know like iPhones have like
Yeah, they
car
can tell
crash
if you're in a car crash.
detector and
Yep.
all sorts of stuff like that. I think if you have an Apple Watch and like you start having a heart attack, maybe it is able to tell and like maybe automatically call 911 for you. Like the technology is really cool. And like you'll notice we've never talked about Apple technology. Like I think Apple's really good at keeping their shit secure and not letting people have access to it who shouldn't. And that's why you don't really hear them as part of this discussion a lot of the time. But Microsoft, Google, Amazon, famously horrible at this stuff. So
What's up, Burnout? Yeah, dude, the beard is going strong, man. I had to trim it up. It was like way out of control, so I had to like bring it in. This is like a half-inch trim, so it was wild. But March, the beard's coming off, so I think I'm gonna wear it all the way through March and then get rid of it. And then of course you guys will get to see the beard regrow in October. She was in her late 50s, relatively healthy, only on some temporary medication. Her phone was charging.
So crazy, dude.
Life Alert's the real deal, but random shit happens. Yeah, I mean, as a 50-year-old, like I'm 42. I'm not gonna get a Life Alert. I feel like I'm too young, but that's a real situation that could that's life or death. That's fucking scary, dude. It's really cool that she got help though. Broth instead of water will change your life. Oh, you do rice cooking with broth? Hell yeah, dude. Like
It does
chicken stock?
make a big difference. I always throw a little bit of butter in there too, because I think some oil helps it not be so like mushy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm with you, Adder. I liked the smart home device. Like I said, we had Gen 1s. We didn't buy them. They were like gifts, working in tech and different companies and all that. Like I got an Alexa from
that shit away
Bungie.
for free constantly
Yeah.
because they wanted it in everybody's house. Like,
Yep.
I don't know.
I got like 3 free Alexas.
Yeah.
And so we have 3 of them, but like I said, none of them are plugged in. We used to use them, but then they started to just worry us and we just unplugged them. Relooted launched and it bombed. 44 players. What's Relooted? Some you got to be old to have one of those Life Alert things. Yeah. Alexa could save you. ChatGPT would ask you 50 questions, call animal control, and end with "You're so right" when you yell at it being wrong. We talked about that for my stepdad. He lives 11 miles away, and we've investigated ways to make alerts if he hasn't been moving around daily. Yeah, Omni, you should talk to Tony about it because it sounds like his family's got a good setup for checking in on Grandpa.
It's literally just a Google Home, and it has like kind of the same thing like a smart doorbell would have, where you can just see like anytime there's a motion alert in like a big list, and it's pretty easy for them to just check when he came down the stairs in the morning and stuff.
Burnout, we got onto the Ring cameras and privacy because we were talking about Discord. Next month, Discord's going to roll out some pretty expansive changes that require age verification with like a face or photo ID.
It's like a video selfie too. It's like
so Tony was saying the searches for Discord alternative went up like 100,000% or something like that.
10,000%.
Yep. 10,000%. Yeah, some crazy amount. So Discord might change dramatically very soon and then change back, or they just don't roll it out. Who knows what's going to happen?
Discord alternative. Let's see the graph.
And Drist in chat was talking about, as an Aussie, they have Aussie laws that restrict social media and stuff. Burnout, what's your take on the parental controls that TikTok is rolling out? I know you're a big TikTok guy, or at least have been. I don't know if you're still on like 8 hours a day of TikTok.
Look at this line. This is the searches for Discord alternative since the beginning of time.
Woo, that's crazy.
Yep.
That's not a graph you want to see in an investor call. Your phone company knows when you poop. Yeah, I think the government knows.
YouTube does too, or Reddit or Twitter or whatever your app of choice is.
The other thing to know is that like the government knows what you guys are searching all the time. All the time. All of us have probably been investigated by like the NSA at some point. And then they're like, "Oh, this guy's just a degen, you know. This guy's like not all that bad." They know. They always know what you're looking at and what you're doing online. It's long past that time. All boomers in my family have bought Alexa devices that same week. Not that I agree with them as a product, but I can't argue with that one positive. Yeah. I mean, you make a really good point, Adder. Like we were talking about all the negatives, but there are positives with these smart home devices for sure. So you will about Apple. I respect them for the security and privacy efforts. I mean, I think Apple's a good, company as far as like the products they make. They make cool shit. I'm not an Apple user, but my wife is. So we've got like, Apple and PC devices all over the house. We've got all the things, right? Like, because I'm not necessarily an Apple guy and she is an Apple person. So, isn't Omni an old guy? Can't we get channel in Discord to monitor his Google Home? Yeah, we should probably have one so that he's safe and we know he's safe. Yeah. Oh, wow. Buy Discord. Yeah, exactly. Mocap. It's kind of crazy. Burnout. Fuck. I lost my ID. I got to find that. Bro, you lost your ID. That's so crazy. A young man's life, dude. I think parental controls on social media are good. I love hearing that. Should be banned like in Australia for kids. Totally agree. So everyone online freaking out because the new Discord CEO is from blank country. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't care if my phone company knows when I poop as long as I know it too. Yeah, dude, that'd be fucked up, LFQ, if your phone's like, hey, I think you need to have a bowel movement. Go take care of yourself. Imagine, dude. That's why the best way to stop wanking ain't an app. It's to remember that everyone you jerk off, the government is laughing at you every time. Yeah. Also, Jesus can see you. Just remember that. If you don't want Jesus to watch you do it, don't do it. I just had a thought because I was wondering how the stop the degen behavior app or whatever. I was thinking about how that works, and it came to me, what if it's just like Jesus is always with you when you're like having impulses as a human being and you're like, I'm gonna go do this, and then it's like Jesus knows. Is that how it works? Jesus is a gentleman and looks away. Bright side. I like that, dude. That's a very positive spin on the whole situation. Yeah.
The whole situation.
It is, man. Yeah. Jesus would be like, that's shameful. I can't watch you do this, but I'm always here for you. Like I know what you did. I'm not looking, but when you want to come back to the light, I will embrace you with open arms. Yeah. I like it. He wouldn't look at you when you poop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Take it easy, Burnout. New feature, Jesus take the wheel. I think that encourages it, bro. Why is Jesus taking the wheel? You need to have both of your hands on it. I mean, I feel like if you got one or no hands on the wheel because you're giving it to Jesus, like you're doing something else sussy with those hands, bro. At least you are, Omni. I know how you do, man. I see you. I see you out there. Okay, so we talked about our rights being violated. We've talked a little bit about Super Meat Boy 3D. We talked about Mugenics going ham on the old Steam. That's the power of having an existing audience. Dude has been making that game for 12 years, and then when it drops, he's like already a commercial success with that game. That's good, really good. So foster that audience, guys. You indie devs. The marketing is really important. Think about how to build a community. Build people that are going to be into your brand and the stuff you make, put all that stuff together. I mean, I've been really open about it. That's why we do the stream. We definitely do it to help you guys too and to share knowledge. But yeah, it's absolutely a marketing tool. That's why we're not professional streamers. We make video games and we also stream. Let's see. Giving it to Jesus, clip that. Guys, I keep telling you, clips are on. You can make your own clips. If you want to clip something, go clip it. It's there. We've got some very silly clips that have been made, like when
I'd love
Tony
for
was
you guys to
playing.
bury some of the clips that we got so that I never have to see them again, and they're not the first thing that new people who come to our channel watch about us. But
Yeah, who did we
that's just me.
rated someone and they were like, oh, they've got clips, and they clicked on one that was like, we've got Coomer, and then like Tony becoming an hero, and you know, it didn't actually work in fucking
I
what
don't
was
mind
it,
that one.
Half-Life VR?
It's the white monster one. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
that's
the
the
white
boss
monster
one.
throat goat was the one that gets you? Yeah, dude. I could go for a white monster right now, said Tony. That'd be a funny app though. Whenever you visit a dirty website on your phone, that PNG of Jesus with his hands up pops up. Yeah, dude, that would be great. If you guys, okay, so to help you guys out, because I've made clips on Twitch before, you click that little marker for, you know, film and whatnot. You click that, it pops up a new window. You get 5 minutes of the last thing, and you can scrub and select the clip length. When you finish it and say this is what I want, it has a link, and you can grab that link and throw it into chat so that everyone can see it. So if you wanted to clip something, that's the way to go about it. Alt X apparently is the hotkey. If you want to try that as well, I just hovered over it. It says Alt X. So I don't know. I don't know if that actually works. I've only ever clicked the button. Okay. So let me go click on the thingy that we have here that has stuff for me to talk about in Strim.
I had Marathon up over here because I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, do it.
I don't know if you saw some of these posts. Let me put this up first. So there's a China event of Marathon that a bunch of people have been posting about that I guess they showed off a bunch of stuff we haven't seen and people think it looks really cool. Let's see. Personal impressions are that the game does not encourage prolonged fights for both PvP and PvE. Gunplay is top-notch and compares to aim assist to Destiny 2, which each gun having defined aim assist values. PvP gunfire will attract distant AI, transforming them into world police to eliminate both sides in one sweep. PvE robots are not cannon fodder. They have defined roles where some can turn invisible for ambushes, some will deploy shields, and some will focus on melee. Commander type robots. AI has improved since alpha. They're not omniscient radios anymore that respond instantly to every sound, and reinforcements are no longer endless waves. Ammo is extremely scarce, and AI robots rarely dropped ammo. Loot distribution felt extremely inconsistent, with some POIs having virtually nothing to loot, which sucks as PvE fights already depleted ammo. Visual art style makes certain weapon attachment icons extremely abstract, making it hard to quickly identify them in high pressure situations.
I'm fine with that. You'll learn what it is.
Interview with Joe Ziegler confirmed that each season is 3 months long. Development dreams and even player expectations. PvE only mode will be saved for the future. No safe pocket system at launch. May consider it in future seasons based on player feedback. So no secure container. No aggression-based matchmaking like Arc Raiders to separate co-op players from PvP ones. So that sucks. Larger maps will support up to 18 players, and smaller maps will support 12.
So this all kind of reinforces my assumption that Marathon is going to be very team focused and sweaty. I'm worried about that because they need to get a new audience. However, I will say the conversation that I've seen online is shifting towards a much more positive angle for Marathon. It does look very cool. It's fun to play. But to me, the experience felt pretty binary. It was like really, really fun or like frustrating to the point where I wasn't sure I wanted to keep playing it. It's interesting. And that, again, that was in like an early state. So we have to wait and see what the game will be like when it comes out. We just do, to like truly know if the game's gonna be super fun. And luckily, end of the month, the last weekend of February, we're gonna get a like free weekend that everyone can play the game and try it out themselves and determine if it's the game for them. There's a lot of things I like about marathons. There's a lot of things that give me pause and make me wonder if it's going to be good. Again, I think team play is one of those things, like the heavy emphasis on team play and coordination. I think that's going to potentially harm the game because, like, if I use the gold standard of Tarkov as the comparison example here, you can absolutely play Tarkov solo and have a lot of success. You really can. It does not emphasize team play nearly as much, although having a coordinated team is very powerful in Tarkov. But you can still get away with not doing it. In this game, I had many experiences playing in the early state where I, as a solo player, made really good choices, and I was able to isolate a member of an enemy team, get the jump on them, try to kill them, and, you know, like crack their shield, and they turn around and just one-shot me. And then because I'm a solo player, I'm knocked, and I have this really negative experience of watching this person, like, you know, the whole team like gather around to harvest my corpse and all that shit. Like, I have to forcibly give up. It's just a very negative moment. And I think in Tarkov, because when you die, you're just dead. It's over really fast. The sting is still there. The pain is there of failure, but it's almost easier to get over because you don't have like localized voice comms with people talking shit to you while you're crawling around on the ground. You have to hold a give up button. Like, the psychological damage for giving up is pretty severe. In Tarkov, because there's no down system where you can like be revived, you don't have that. This is a weird thing. This is a game design thing. You don't have that negative moment of like, I give up. I feel like I quit, you know?
You also don't have like your teammate being a security camera while you're in a fight.
Yeah.
Trying to like, you know, call out where the guys are and stuff, which like, I don't know. That's another part of Tarkov is like you eliminate one of the team members, they're not telling the other people what's going on anymore, and that's to your advantage. And
yeah,
I don't know, any game like Apex or like this or something, you know, it's just you're just sitting there holding your shield, telling your team where they are.
Turning cog, I think 4 seasons is so. We know this. We know that they've said they want a competitive mode for Marathon. So and that's going to be seasonal play where you'll get ranked up and then rank reset every season. I almost feel like 4 is too many at launch. They probably should have gone with 2 or 3 to have larger gaps for people to get used to the game. But the alternative is having shorter seasons could make it so that the first couple of seasons are going to be pretty even of a playing field as people like really master the game and get good at it. I don't know. I don't know what the actual answer is, but it's interesting. We'll have to see what it's like. I'm skeptical about a competitive mode. I think these kinds of games are already extremely competitive. And when I say competitive mode, I mean like ranked, which there will be in Marathon. You unlock skins and like MTX shit.
They've already said there's ranked. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing that 100%. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Let's see. I read all the Jesus stuff. Turning cog asked Tony, how did you get this working? Was it hard? He wants to know about the sphere, the orb thing, the Giga that you were.
I mean, you can see I'm still fighting with it a little bit because I was really trying to be able to like drop and replace them and have all of the materials just go where they're supposed to. I don't know why it's not working, but I'm just putting it all together right now. The hardest part was definitely bending our logo across the face of the sphere, and it took me a little bit of Blender learning to figure out how to do that, but got it looking pretty good.
Marengo says team play destroys any UGC Fortnite island. Kids do not know how to work as a team. So Marengo, my concern about the emphasis on team play is this is a new IP. This is like, you know, it's not really a new IP, but this is like a new game in the IP. It's a new game for Bungie. And if they're emphasizing team play very early on and how, you know, at launch for the game, it's going to be more difficult to bring in new players, right? Like I know a lot of Tarkov players start as solos and then they get like a crew. They bring people in, teach them the game, and then they start to build a team that way. Because it's very, very challenging to play solo, I'm concerned that it's going to be harder for them to get people to bring their friends in and grow the audience for Marathon. So just from like a business perspective, that's what it has me thinking about. And I think negative solo play experiences in Marathon will cause a lot of players to potentially just bounce off of it and not bring their friends in, and it could harm the growth of the game. That's my concern. I don't know that it's actually going to work that way, but those are the first problems that I see with these design choices.
I think it's crazy that they're like, I don't know. They're going, we're not going to do what Arc Raiders does. Like, you're stupid, but okay.
Yeah, and Arc Raiders is a great example, Marengo. Marengo says I've been playing Arc for months solo and just started grouping. Yeah, And that's because it's viable in Arc. You can actually solo in Arc. I did a lot of solo. I would say the time that I played Marathon, half of it was solo, half of it was with a group. When I was playing with a group, admittedly, I was playing with people who work on the game, and so the knowledge was very high. So our success was, 90%. We were doing really well most of the time and like kind of dominating a map and getting everything done that we needed to get done. The contrast is in solo play because it was all very new to me. I didn't know what guns were good. I didn't know what runner kits were ideal for my play style or what I wanted to do, or even just playing solo, because some of the runner kits are like very biased towards team play, where you can set up a squad of like these three and they all support each other with their kits and it works really well. You don't get any of that solo because they're archetypes. You have these like specific things that they do. They alleviated that a bit with Rook. But when I played Rook, Rook was not powerful. And I think that's on purpose. It's a good way to learn maps and get loot and stuff. But progression in these games is all about playing on a main, right? Playing a runner and not doing a Rook or a scav run. Or a free kit run. Arc Raiders did that a little bit better with the free kit because you can still be successful with a free kit. They're just not super great. It's interesting. There's some things that get my like, this might be a bad choice in Marathon. Like there's some things that get that danger sense tingling, and then there's some other things that I'm like, these are really good decisions. So it's mixed. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm definitely going to play it, decide for myself, see what it's like at launch. I don't know that I'm going to buy it. So I'll throw that out there. That doesn't mean that you guys shouldn't. If this is really cool to you and you're excited about all of it, buy it, man. Enjoy the game. Who gives a fuck what people on the internet say? It's at the end of the day, it's you spending your time as a human being in a way you want. So, if you like Marathon, you want to play it, do it. I'm a player who doesn't want to feel dependent on others. When a game forces you to go into a team, I just don't want to play anymore. Yeah, that's my concern, LFQ. That's like literally it. You put it a very good way there. I like playing solo, but I also like playing in a team. A really good example I can give you guys. I've been playing Tarkov for 2,000 hours, something like that, which is not a huge amount of time, but it's enough for me to feel very comfortable with the majority of the game. I've been playing more recently with Sushifu, and he's a very competent FPS player, and like we can shore up each other's gaps, and so that team play has been really, really nice and rewarding. Like he knows how to do certain things that I don't know how to do, but I can shoot well, so I can just go in and support him without like running around and doing my own thing. And he's teaching me stuff. And I'm doing the same thing with maps that I know that he's not as comfortable with. So we get this like extra beneficial team play aspect going. And that's very positive. Granted, we're also playing Tarkov PvE, which is different. We're not running into like turbo sweats that know every aspect of this game, that have like, 10,000 hours in it because they've been playing for 10 years. Like we're eliminating that part of the experience. So Marathon doesn't have that. I don't know what it means. It could go a bunch of different directions.
I'm calling it now. The cheaters are going to be off the fucking chain. Like day one, you're going to see people complaining about it.
See, I'm skeptical about that, but Tony could very well be right. He could absolutely be right, especially on PC. Yeah. I mean, that was. I'll say this, working on Destiny, when we went to PC, cheating skyrocketed and it became a very serious problem. But at the same time, that's when cost benefit analysis comes in and you go, is it worth trying to build a robust anti-cheat to combat this? Because that, we've talked about it on the channel before, that becomes a war of attrition that never ends. The studio will do things to mitigate cheating. The cheat creators will do things to counteract the countermeasures that the studio has come up with. And it's just always in flux. So you have these periods of like cheating booming and then dying off as the studio figures out how to combat it. But then it's almost impossible. I would say it is impossible to stay ahead of the cheaters because it behooves them to innovate, in ways that the studio is not able to anticipate, because their whole business is predicated on doing that. Whereas a studio, the cheating is like a side part of them making money, because It's game sales that do it. And if the cheating is so bad that it's harming the game sales and the audience, that's when they have to do something about it. If it's not, they don't have to do anything about it. They don't have to spend money to try to fight it. So you get into a really weird position where you're like, do we even care about cheating or do we not? So I feel like Tarkov PvE is the biggest win they could add. Yeah, it was huge. LFQ, a lot of OG Tarkov players they really don't like PvE because
there's members of the community that literally think it's ruined the game, and it is the most unforgivable thing BSG could ever possibly do. And that daily discussion about they should just delete PvE and everything would be fine. And that's never going to happen, of course. But
no, it's profitable. It makes BSG money. Players want to play PvE.
Huge slant of the community. That's like it always struck me as like people who are mad that there are not worse players for them to bully and take their gear constantly, and that they have to play against other people who are like them because everybody else is playing PvE. That's why they're mad, and
that's a big part of it. Yep. And it gets really exhausting when every game is a sweat fest and you're playing against the best of the best all the time, regardless of your skill level. There's another element to it as well, where PvP exclusive players call PvE players like unskilled and, like inferior gamers and stuff like that. So there's like an elitism aspect to it as well, which is stupid. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Again, it's a video game. Like you're not out here doing some very, very high level competition, that's like physically demanding or something like that, right? It's not like the Olympics. It's not like professional sports. It's just a video game. So that elitism is silly to me. I say this as someone who is generally something of an elitist with games. I like playing very challenging things, but I will also say like PvE is a valid experience. Like you should be able to do it. And the other concern is the separation of the player base. So if everyone has to play PvP, the conceit that these PvE exclusive players or PvP exclusive players have is that the population will be bigger. But what they don't understand is that there are people who are playing the game in PvE that will never play in PvP. So that's just not true. It like their idea that no, we'll just put everyone in here. Yeah, and then you'll have fewer players because those players don't want to play PvP. It's just the way it goes. Arc is full of cheaters, but they only play against other cheaters. Aggression-based matchmaking is interesting. If Marathon has a rank system, players will expect a robust anti-cheat. Exactly, Marengo. That's why I'm not sure.
That's why I think it's interesting that they've come out and been like, we're not going to do the Arc like matchmaking system, even though everybody loves it and it's been shown to work really well. It's like, why?
Illuminous said not stupid. Which part was not stupid? Were you disagreeing with me about the PvP things? I know you love PvP in games, so that's why I just wanted to clarify like what you were going for there, because you may not have meant that. Oh shit! Do I need to turn my light on? Yeah, it's getting darker in here. All right, be right back. Well, I'm just going over there. All right, we got the light on. Okay, so that was Marathon stuff. I got kind of deep. Tony, you wanted to talk about just the specific China thing. I know.
I just wanted to talk about it. I think we're 22 days out now, it said. So, we're going to be playing it soon.
Got it.
So, I don't know. There was new information. It seems like the news cycle gets a little more positive every time something comes out. And they're definitely distancing themselves from the art scandal quite a bit. I don't
know. Illuminous, yeah, when I was saying that, I'm not like saying PvP elitist experience is invalid. I'm saying it's short-sighted. The problem is, like I was saying, you have people who never want to engage with that, and it's a business decision. Like the studio needs to make money, and like you won't get the game if it's only PvP, because they'll go out of business and there just won't be a thing there. So that's the argument that I'm making. I love PvP. So I'm in between. I do both, and I appreciate both things. PvP is great. There's something special about knowing that you bested another human being versus like, oh, I beat a bot that makes really stupid choices. Like it doesn't feel as good, you know? So I can understand exactly where you're coming from with that. I'm just saying that the assumption by a PvP elitist community saying you should just force it on everyone because then the community will be bigger. That's not true. It's definitely not true. I think BSG has done a good thing with making certain stuff only achievable in PvP, and then fewer things are achievable in PvE. So like the Killer 7 achievement, which is kill 7 PMCs in a single raid, you can't get that in PvE. You just can't.
I
You can
wondered
only
about
get
that.
it in PvP.
I heard about that the other day, and I was like, I feel like I would have gotten that one by now. And yep, there you go.
That's why you got to do it in PvP, which is much harder to do. Way
100%.
fucking harder.
100%.
You have to kill like 90% of the lobby, which is that's a lot of running around, being on point, being highly skilled. So I think it's cool that they reward people who are like have an immense amount of game knowledge and FPS skill. That I'm fine with that. You can have both things, and I think it works. Another consideration for making a game that has both things is when you do that, it's more expensive. You have to build more game, and you know that's another consideration. So you have to start somewhere. I'm not surprised that Tarkov took 10 years or whatever, 9 years to include PvE. Not shocked at all. They had to get the system right before they rolled it out. They planned it as a paid thing, which obviously makes people grumpy, but it's valuable enough that they made a ton of money off of it. So smart choices by BSG to stay in business and be successful. Let's see. What else did we have on the old VGC other than ads trying to co-opt my browser for purposes that I don't want it to? Silent Hill stuff. Grasshopper, don't care about that stuff. Okay, so we talked about Discord. Tony, did you want to talk about that 80 level article about clever graphics tricks used in older games? You posted that one. Or do you want to talk about TXKO?
You can talk. I put the 2XKO thing in there. I don't know a ton about that. I know it's a fighting game, so I thought you might know more about it, but
it looked good. It's a tag fighter based on League of Legends. The announcement was that they're cutting like half the dev team. They're trying to make the support for the game and the development of the game more austere so that they can save money and be more profitable. I guess they didn't have as good of numbers with the launch of TXKO. They didn't have the numbers that they projected, so they have to like pare things down. The game's not canceled. It's still going to live. But the player community is not quite there yet to support TXKO as like a thriving fighting game. So that's kind of the news there. More layoffs. It's just the way the industry is. Let's see. Oh, I thought this was interesting. So I read an article yesterday that 28 members of the Clair Obscur Expedition 33 team were knighted by France as like cultural, whatever is like the glory of France. They did great things, so they were knighted. That's really interesting. I don't think any game devs have ever been knighted, so this is like a new thing. Video games have reached a new level of recognition, is the official statement. Samfall Interactive members made Knights of the Order of Arts and Letters. That's kind of funny. The French have Knights of Arts and Letters. Holy baguette. I've been playing the game. It's great. Hell yeah, mocap. I've been playing Metaphor, but I'm going to play Expedition 33 afterward. And then that being said, I took a brief detour and started playing Space Warlord Alien Baby Trading Simulator or something like that. I think is the name. It's interesting. I thought at first I was like, yo, this is pure gambling. This is potentially bad. But then I started to realize that it's not really. There's a lot of things you can do as a player to move the odds into your favor. And then it all started to click. And like once I figured some things out, I started having a lot of success in it. And I don't know, I'm kind of washing out at this point, but it's been a very fun diversion. It's a good game that you can play while like doing something else. LFQ said, "Oh dang, yeah, oh dang about the Knights, bro." Let's see what else. Oh, this is interesting. An honor previously bestowed on Legend of Zelda producer Eiji Aonuma. Aonuma? Aonuma? I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm sorry. Super Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto and Rayman designer Michel Ancel. Okay, so they're not the first game devs to get knighthood. It looks like there are others who've been given a knighthood in France. Prestigious French cultural decoration established in the 1950s to recognize significant contributions to the arts. That's pretty cool, man. Those guys are like on a fucking roller coaster. That's got to be a wild time to be one of those guys. You're like, fuck, what do we do next? You know? Also, in the most French way possible, these dudes are wearing stripy shirts and red berets when they accepted like game awards and shit. I fucking love it. Looking like mimes out
Stripy
here.
shirts and red berets, I think it's from the game, isn't it?
It's like French. I just know that it's like the stereotypical French guy with like a Van Dyke mustache and like stripy shirt and fucking red beret. It's a special costume in the game. I mean, I don't know, man. That's like what I think of when I think of French people. Maybe smoking cigarettes. Okay, that's cool. Oh, they're called Breton striped shirts and red berets. So I guess that's it's like a French thing, a cliche fully embraced, and all the more delightful because, as you yourselves admit, you didn't really choose it because the style is primarily embraced, adopted, and disseminated by your fans. So yeah, they made people like the French stereotype, which is it's cool. I like it. 13 nominations at the Game Awards. They broke another record, I guess, or broke the record for nominations. 9 awards, which is unprecedented. They were acknowledged by the French president. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, like the government is like, you guys are making France awesome. Imagine making a video game so good that your like government recognizes you and awards you with like prestige. That's crazy. It's your go-to costume mocap? Hell yeah. French as fuck, boy. Yo, what's up, Macro Rage? What's up, dog? I think Macro Rage is someone in Twitch chat that I already recognize. I appreciate you chatting on YouTube. We like almost never get YouTube chat, so congratulations on your contribution. I'll give you a French knighthood. Yeah, I think I kind of hit all of our topics. I could have talked about Fable 4 a little bit. It's interesting. I didn't know that Fable was being now made by Playground Games, the Forza Horizons guys. That's gonna be interesting. I'm not really a Fable fan. I think Tony, you were more a fan of Fable than I ever was, so you might have stronger feelings about Fable than I did.
Fable 1 and 2 at least once, yeah, probably.
You can quickly be recognized by your government for a game. It's just the wrong list you'll be added to. The Alex Jones video game is crazy. Bro, is there an Alex Jones video game? No way. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Oh my God, there is. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. The tagline for this game, I don't even want to read on stream. This is crazy. Oh, man, this is some nuts stuff. He self-released one, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he learned a game engine on his own and built a game with his own skill at making video games. It had nothing to do with him hiring people who were like willing to take his money to make a video game with his likeness in it. where he saves the world from globalists, which is literally what is a part of the tagline. Just crazy. Let's see. PlayStation Plus catalog for February is leaked. I don't care. Microsoft could reportedly merge Xbox Game Pass Premium and PC Game Pass. Interesting. So they're going to merge some tiers?
The only positive thing that can mean is that games we can't play on PC would be playable on PC, but I feel like there's like licensing reasons they've not been able to do that, right?
I'm reading on it right now. I mean, this is speculative. This is not like a actual announcement, so I don't know how accurate it is. According to The Verge, Microsoft could soon simplify its lineup by combining the two tiers into a single offering. It's also claimed that Microsoft could experiment with a free version of its Xbox Cloud gaming service. Interesting. The Verge also notes that combining the tiers would be framed as an effort to expand Game Pass's offering and potentially include more third-party services as a value add. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what it's going to do, and if they're actually even going to do this. So, I don't know. That might be fake news. There's some Pokemon thing that I don't care about either. A new Silent Hill transmission presentation is coming this week with new info on Silent Hill Townfall. It's going to take place shortly after the PlayStation State of Play. Let's see. It's going to take place on Thursday, February 12th at 4 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern, midnight GMT. Okay, so it'll be roughly an hour after State of Play ends. Designed and marked as a going concern. Announced remake, Japan-themed entry called Silent Hill F. Streaming series. Yeah, so they're like, Konami's doing a lot of Silent Hill stuff this year, it sounds like. They've got a couple of things going on. A streaming series, Silent Hill Ascension. Short teaser for Silent Hill Townfall. While Ascension was critically panned, despite winning an Emmy Award for Outstanding Innovation in Emerging Media Programming, both the Silent Hill 2 remake and Silent Hill F were praised by critics and fans alike. Silent Hill Townfall is being published by Annapurna and Konami, being developed by Scottish studio Screenburn, formerly known as No Code, which previously released Stories Untold and Observation, both of which were published by Devolver Digital. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a lot of Silent Hill coming soon, if you guys are fans of Silent Hill. And then let's see, what else we got going on here? Tony, you want to talk about what you're doing?
Yeah. I'm trying to show streams in Unreal. So I have this stream that's playing on a computer in my house, and I mostly have it showing up in Unreal. It's a little finicky about connecting to the stream, and I'm trying to figure out why that is, but when it's working, it works pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Level is giving it trouble, but yeah, the idea longer term is like kind of take the OBS setup that you're seeing there and have that be in Unreal and, you know, a 3D thing. So kind of trying to get the pieces of that put together. But the big challenge here that I had was that you can't accept like a web stream in Unreal as is. And so I've been kind of vibe coding this thing that successfully does it. It's kind of working pretty good now. So I have a post process in this level that is pretty aggressive, and I think it's making it so that we can't see the material here, but it also seems like it's maybe maxing me out at 10. Yeah, that's.
I thought you got that working last week, yeah?
I got it working last week through a really hacky way of doing it that was basically requiring that every feed into Unreal required me to have a separate instance of OBS running on my computer that was outputting that thing. And that was very clunky. It was very difficult to deal with. I wasn't going to be able to manage it long term. I think the performance was going to be bad, blah, 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 blah. This system allows me to basically point this plain thing that I made at any web stream that's happening from the internet, from my network, from Video Ninja, which is where our webcams are coming in, and kind of just take them into Unreal and do whatever I want with them. So again, I couldn't find any system that does that, and I sat with Cursor for like 2 days to get it working, and it works pretty good now. So I don't know if we'll make a plugin out of it or give it away on our website to subscribers or something, but those are kind of some of my ideas right now of what we might end up doing with it if it works out.
Sweet. Oh, I was talking about Blizzard a little bit earlier. Or I guess we were, because we were talking about Overwatch. And we talked about Arc Raiders a little bit because we were talking about Marathon. This was interesting, and I forgot about this, but since we talked about those, we can talk about this too. Blizzard reportedly is having Nexon, the parent company for Arc Raiders, work on the unannounced StarCraft shooter.
I'm going to be right back.
Yeah, no worries. I don't know how you make a statement like that. That's like a little funky. Like, the game's unannounced, but somehow they know that Nexon is doing it. What? So, and I'm going to read more of this. Blizzard reportedly has its own internal StarCraft shooter tipped for reveal this year. According to a new report in South Korea, which claims Nexon's shooter division has begun full-scale development of a new game utilizing StarCraft IP. Okay, so this is probably like a financials call that was public and then became, reported on. The existence of an in-development StarCraft shooter was first reported last year in Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier's book Play Nice, The Rise, Fall, and Future of Blizzard Entertainment. However, commenting on the Korean report, Schreier claimed the Nexon project was likely unrelated to StarCraft shooter mentioned in his book, which means Blizzard is planning at least 2 such projects. According to the new report, Nexon signed a content development agreement with Blizzard last year to collaborate on game-related content. So they might be doing like third-party asset, generation for something that Blizzard's working on. Hard to tell exactly what's happening. This is, again, all speculative. Wait, what the fuck? It's claimed that Nexon has hired talent specifically for the project, which is reportedly being led by the popular StarCraft modder Choi Junho. Interesting. According to the Play Nice book, Blizzard's shooter project is being led by ex-Far Cry boss Dan Hay, who left Ubisoft in 2021 after a decade at its Montreal studio, where he was credited for overseeing the Far Cry series during its most prosperous period. More recently, a report from Windows Central claimed that StarCraft is likely to headline the September BlizzCon event, alongside new expansions for Diablo 4 and World of Warcraft. If the reports are accurate, the unannounced games would mark at least the 4th time that Blizzard has attempted to create a StarCraft shooter, following the canceled project StarCraft Ghost and Ares. So there we go. We got some news about StarCraft Ghost, or whatever it is. Let's see. Yeah, the Fable stuff I don't know about. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. I don't know. I think the internet doesn't like it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Fable? Do you care? Are you interested to see what Playground Games makes? I know some of the statements that they made about it were that they want to be true to the series and take inspiration from the series, but they want to do their own thing as well. So it might be really weird. LFQ's never played a Fable game. I can't remember which one I played a lot of, but I definitely played one. Maybe 3? Is 3 the one where you could do like town stuff, where you could like become a buy buildings and shit? Like
might be 2.
I either played 2 or 3.
2 was like Xbox 360. There's definitely some town stuff. I feel like 2 was good. I don't know if I played 3. I don't know.
Did 3 have the guns in it? because it might have been 3 that I played a lot
Not
of.
positive I played 3, but
Exactly the thing I was trying to say, my drong. Historically, writers doing their own thing with a beloved IP has only resulted in good things. 3 did have guns. Yeah, then 3's I think the one I played the most. Yeah, I've seen some interesting YouTube videos about Fable. Obviously they have a very specific slant to them. It's really hard to like look up stuff about video games on the internet that isn't just someone talking about, culture wars or some other bullshit, right? So that's what I mean. Those are the things that I've seen. Which, by the way, since we're discussing those kinds of channels and things, I still think the video game donkey high guard video is like one of the best ones he's made recently. It's really funny. If you like Donkey. If you don't like Donkey, you're probably going to be like, what is this garbage? Love Fable 3, but hated how their menu was a 3D area that you have to walk through.
oof.
I kind of remember that. Yeah, wasn't it like a hub world and you like walked around in there? I always felt weird about Fable. Like I played Fable because like people were like, dude, have you played Fable? They were very excited about it. And it just I played a lot of it, but it just didn't, I don't know. It didn't do a lot for me. Not even sure how to think about it. I think I kind of feel that way about Molyneux's games. I played a lot of Black and White. Don't know why, but I definitely played a lot of it. Played a lot of Fable. Don't know why, but I played a lot of it. I even had Got Us, GODUS, which was a game that he made with 22 cans after Lionhead was like, he's no longer a part of Lionhead.
My biggest what do you call it, Mandela effect is that Peter Molyneux made this game called Armed and Dangerous that I used to play on Xbox, and apparently it was made by LucasArts. I'm blown away by this every time I look at it. It was like super cockney Peter Molyneux, like British humor constantly. So maybe I just assumed it was him, but I don't know. I don't know if you guys ever played Armed and Dangerous. Yeah, it was kind of fun. Had like a land shark gun and all these like really quirky weapons.
That made me think of the South Park N64 game. Did you ever play that?
Yes.
That shit was so weird. It was like GoldenEye, but with South Park.
Very weird.
I don't know why it was a shooter either. That was so strange. I want to say I rented that from Blockbuster when I played it.
Yeah, and it was like had it, and my parents did not like us playing it, but
I'm sure one of the guns was a chicken, and you pointed its ass at stuff, and it fired an egg.
Oh, you rented that game? I remember being like 8 years old and being like, "Oh my god, they said bastard."
Yeah,
swear word.
Yeah, you can't imagine bastard being a swear word in 2026. That's crazy. Mocap, did you get it from Blockbuster like I did? Or did you go to like Hollywood Video or something? I don't even know if I was like a Blockbuster main back in the day. I even had a job at Blockbuster at one point because I got free rentals. It was Blockbuster? Yeah. Crazy how that whole business just exploded. It might have been a mom and pop rental. Man, that was like an interesting era. Renting physical, digital media. It was very strange. And now we have internet everywhere and no one has any physical copies of anything. Except for like Zoomers who want to restore old technology for some fucking reason I can't understand. Picking out movies was a lot of fun. Yeah. It was definitely like a weekly ritual for me. I would get like video game rentals, movie rentals. I would go see movies on weekends, with my friends, with my mom, shit like that. Like, I feel like people don't do any of that anymore because all the entertainment just comes directly to you on your phone or in your house. I bought more ice cream from Blockbuster than I rented movies. Bro, what? European Blockbusters of ice cream?
Did you ever have the Blockbuster thing where you just like could perpetually rent a game, and then when you're done with it, you just took it back and they gave you a different one?
Yep.
Yeah, that was
I definitely did that.
That was awesome.
Same. It was my weekend plan. Local co-op on a rental. Yeah, totally, dude. That was a good time. That was when like technology wasn't destroying everything and like making our lives worse and while distracting us.
Well, the only way you even knew about stuff is like you go to Blockbuster and see it and be like, oh, that looks cool.
You like talked to people you knew that lived in your community. You weren't like out on the internet having a conversation with someone who may not even be a real person about something you should or shouldn't like or how to feel about stuff. It's crazy. We really do live in the dumbest dystopia possible. I don't understand it. We did it to ourselves. I think I'm out of stuff to discuss, Tony.
Yep. No, I think we're at a good stopping point here. I got a pretty bad headache. I want to stop staring at the screen for a little bit. So
okay, sweet.
Yep.
Let's who should we raid, guys? I think Boom's live.
I'm always down to raid Boom.
Okay. You guys got like 30 seconds, otherwise we're raiding Boom. If anyone thinks we should raid someone else, let us know.
I don't really see anybody else on my side.
I'm typing in Boom right now.
Boom says 1 game of Apex Legends. So
I love when Boom says 1 game of Apex Legends because Apex Lemons, because it's never 1 game.
I'm always just really inspired by the fact that I can look over and Boom's like deep into 3D model, and then I look away for like 10 seconds and she's in the Apex game. I'm like, damn.
Wait. My drunk makes a good point. Odd Oculus. He rated us yesterday. We should raid Odd Oculus.
Okay. Yeah, whatever you think.
Yeah, I want to do that. We love Boom, but I want to share the love. All right, Odd Oculus. Dude, what? He got purple eyes? That's fucking wild. I don't think I've ever seen his stream. All right, let's head over there. Everyone show him some love, drop some trees in chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We will see you tomorrow with a Brightside Movement interview. Hopefully that is still on the books. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah.
Yeah, guys, please come through. Show Brightside some love, bring your questions, all that. Should be a good time. A little different than, our normal day, but we're going to try to make it good.
No, we love Boom too. It's not, I mean, it'll be good to share the love over with Odd Oculus. Silent catch you boys tomorrow. Whoa. Yeah, exactly, dude. Get your tinfoil hats ready. All right, I'm excited, bro. All right. Holler at them. Say what's up. Yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.